What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Coach Sheet Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Rashid White. All right, let's get into it. You guys see the graphics. You see the title of the show. Matt Barnes believes that Mike Brown is not the guy to lead the Knicks into championship glory. He gives some alarming reasons why that's the case. But, when it comes to the Knicks, I never really believed it was a coaching issue. I believe Tibbs was really the right guy for the job. And he did command respect out of the team. He got guys that really play hard. No one was complaining. No one was complaining about roles or anything like that. So let's see what Matt Barnes actually has to say over here, man. I was trying to look for a video clip, but couldn't find it. So we just have to go with the news article. And you guys have to hear me just read this thing out, which is like somewhat boring though, man. And let's see over here, man. So Knicks receive brutal prediction ahead of season opener. All right, so let's get into it. It talks about in this article, I'll try to just sum this up real quickly. It talks about the success of the Knicks in the past season. Well, last year, they were one game away to making it to the NBA Finals. And over here, it gets into what Matt Barnes actually has to say. He said there's Matt Barnes basically saying there's pressure of playing in New York, and he knows what it's like to play under Mike Brown, and he shared a different perspective on the Knicks' decision to hire Brown. He says over here, Mike is a great person, said Barnes. He's just not a leader of men. I couldn't imagine it now because these kids are making so much money. You have to have the respect of them. I think he's such a nice guy. Mike wants to be cool with everyone instead of putting his foot down like, this is my team. This is what's going on. He was my coach with the Lakers. We had Mike when Phil Jackson retired. When I tell you rest in peace to my dog Kobe and Ron Artest, they walked all over that mother effer. They used to sub themselves in and out of games. I think he learned a lot in Golden State under Steve Kerr. I think Mike Brown is a great second chair. There is such a night and day difference in sitting in the head coaching chair. He says he wishes him the best, but I've seen firsthand in Sacramento. He lost the respect of the team quickly. Now you're going to New York, media market, where they're going to eat you up. I listen, Mike Brown, we know, right? He probably learned from this situation, and now he has to get more authoritative. But hey, you got to go by what different players respond to, man. Because, like, especially today, I talk to so many people, like, they're so emotional, man. Like, you try to tell them something. I've seen it in the job I work at, man. I have supervisors trying to tell my coworkers, like, they're doing something wrong, and they'll like shut you down and get an attitude, and so I think you got to come at it from a different perspective. There's certain players that could be coached that way, and there's certain players that just can't be coached that way. But listen, the problem isn't the coach, right? It's not Mike Brown. The Knicks have some issues when it comes to like the roster construction. You look at Karl Anthony Towns. The first game they were actually playing, like I see Karl Anthony Towns dribbling. I think it was against the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was dribbling to double teams, turning the basketball over. You saw it in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. I mean, there was a lot of mistakes that he was making, but there was a lot of good things he was making. So there's times that Karl Anthony Towns, he can win you a game and he can lose you a game. And Jalen Brunson, right? His size. Like, they can, like, let's say if they face in Minnesota, they can get him switched on to, like, a Nas Reed. So, and then you have to send help, and that leaves the three-point shooters wide open. So, it's not the coach, right? And then you look at Mikal Bridges. He's limited somewhat offensively. He doesn't explode through contact really well. I mean, he's a great, great third option, fourth option. But, there's some limitations with his game, though, man. So he can't just take it to the hole and dunk on guys, explode through contact or anything like that. and maybe they can incorporate him more into the offense, where they can, like, let's say, have Karl Anthony Town or Mitchell Robinson come up and then set a screen, and maybe that can get a center switched on to Mikal Bridges, and that's the matchup you actually really want, where he can use the little bit of speed and craftiness that he does have to really, get to the basket or just get like a good high percentage mid-range shot. So yeah, it's not a coaching issue. You could bring the best coach in the world, but when you have Karl Anthony Towns, especially him, man, there's times I'm just like scratching my head in terms of like the decision making. Like when he drives to the basket, some of the guards can actually like take a charge on him. He doesn't stop and pull up for like a shot. He'll just keep going through and then pick up an offensive foul. Little stuff like that, man. So I will wrap this video up. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, and certainly share the video. When you share, the universe certainly shares back with you. Peace.